Hey, why has your video gone all still? It's not moving anymore.
What?
Yeah. I can't see your video move at all.
I don't know. I just redid the camera. I hope it is moving.
No, it's not. Move. Like, do something.
I am moving.
Yeah. Something happened.
I am
Yes,
moving.
now.
I'm moving.
Yes.
That's right. Did I move enough for you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the Ashish Ddavidd Show. My name is Ashish Ddavidd. That is not a surprise because this is my show. And if you're thinking that why is this guy laughing so much, well, it's because I'm happy. I'm glad that I'm doing like this video podcast after ages. I'm starting it with a person who is equally crazy, equally musical, equally little kiskawa and like chill like me. So, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. Please say hello to Georgina Matthew.
Thanks for having me on the beautiful show.
Firstly, how are you feeling being on the Ashish Ddavidd Show?
I'm equally feeling as happy as you sounded in the beginning of the show. Thank you for having me over. It seems. Thank you for having me on your show, man. On your happy show.
All right, let's begin from the beginning.
Yes, let's begin from the beginning of time. So I am from a city in Kerala known as Trivandrum. Initially in my life, I did not expect to become a singer-songwriter. That's what I am today. That's a part of me. That's what I would say primarily. I do a couple of other things, but primarily singing and songwriting is what I do. But where I started off, I actually thought I'm going to be working with animals. And Steve Ervin was my biggest and first idol. So initially in my childhood, I would say things like, I'm going to become a zookeeper, and I have this dream of working with Steve Ervin in his zoo, or I would do veterinary school, something on those lines. And I think it's around the 8th standard that there was an inter-school competition that happened, and my mom just happened to sign me up for it. And she forced me to go and sing over there, and I ended up winning. And that's how I actually my mom discovered I have a voice. And ever since then, she's had this huge dream for me to become a playback singer, which is what I had a huge problem with, because while growing up and when people started discovering that I could sing, and a little later when I started doing stage shows, I started off with that. People were like, oh, so you're a playback singer. And I would be, actually, I'm just a singer, and I'm figuring out what else I can do with my voice, And I had a huge problem with just being termed as, being questioned of, are you a playback singer? So that's how it started. And then I moved from Kerala to Chennai in 2008. To join KM Music Conservatory, Dr. A R Rehman's KM Music Conservatory, and I'm so glad I joined the conservatory, even though in my head at the time, I just saw it as, okay, this is my college and I'm going, but the kind of things I got to learn there were amazing. And I'm telling you, it's even after my me studying and finishing my course in KM, I have still these realizations where, in music, I come across something even today, and I'm like, oh, this is what that meant in college, what we learned, and that's how my journey started from Chennai, then doing stage shows, then getting a few playback opportunities, as you call it. But at the same time, I discovered, I used to write a lot of things. I write down a lot of things, even from childhood, and somehow I also used to put a tune to it, and then it used to just be with me. I had no idea about independent music and stuff like that, so that actually grew into me maybe after like 2016-17, when I was like, oh, I can actually do that as well. And then during the pandemic, I put out my songs. my originals. And yeah, it's been great so far. Getting to work with a lot of musicians, collaborate with them, and bring out some really cool stuff. And also growing also as a singer, I would say now I've tried rapping. Really, the song will be out probably in Jan. And yeah, I'm just trying out different things, man. Yeah, that's how it's been.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about your younger years, like school, college time, when you were maybe getting introduced to music.
I actually never thought I'd become a singer, like I said. Where I started off was watching Steve Ervin reruns whenever I could, because it used to be telecasted during the school time. So I used to watch reruns later at night just to catch up. And in 8th standard, when my mom put me in for a competition, is when I went and randomly sang. And to be very honest, I was singing because my mom wanted me to become a singer. It honestly didn't come from a space of, okay, this is something I would love to do. It was more of, okay, my schooling is over, then my parents found out about KM Music Conservatory and put me in there. So even though after the competition, I did mainly go to school in my 10th, 11th and 12th because I hated school. I went only because for joining and taking part in cultural activities and inter-school competitions and stuff. So yes, I was. Oh yes, and I also was a part of the choir in school, because after I won this competition, I think it was something on the lines of a Christian competition among Christian schools of Kerala, so inter-school. And because of that, I did get into the school choir as well at a very early age, because I remember in school at that time, only students from 10th, 11th and 12th could be a part of the choir. But because I got this, won this competition for the school, I got into the choir in about 8th standard. Yeah, and that is actually where I was not conscious about it, because there were 4-part harmonies and all of those things, which I just thought it was as it is given in the paper. But the magic behind it, and also because I was exposed to this at that age, even though not consciously, though I did, because soprano, alto was something which I used to keep being, and at the time it was just, soprano, alto, that's it. Like there's nothing more to do. But
and also you were the younger cool kid who got into the school thing because of your winning that competition, no? So you must have been like, मैं तो वैसे ही cool हूँ.
Yeah, I mean, all thanks to mom, because I still remember I was so reluctant to go and just take part in the competition, because I was just like, no, this is not. I sing in the bathroom. I'm a bathroom singer. I'm also, I sing in the car when we go for a drive. But that's about. But then she discovered something about my voice. I think she found that I have a voice, and then cut to me getting on board with KM Music Conservatory, the first batch, and even then, I think I did not realize how lucky I was to be exposed to all those things at an age of, I was probably 17. Right after school, I went and joined KM. And there were so many instruments, so many different things. I had no idea of even the term Western music theory that exists, It gave me such a broad vision to this new scope, and to be honest, I was not serious about any of this even then, because so in 2015 around or 16, around that time is when I decided to join theatre. Okay.
Right.
So when I joined theatre, and by the time my singing was actually very technical, I was technically very good. If I sing a song, like even if I sing a happy birthday right now to somebody, and if I sang it years ago to somebody else, I would be technically fit. I would sing the song, but there would be no feel to it. You know what I mean? I didn't even understand what I was singing. I was just singing it for what I was taught. Okay. Correct. So when I went and we had this cut to this theatre production which I joined, when I entered my music director, for the music, the production's music director's house, it was a musical that we did, JCS Superstar.
Right, right.
JCS, Jesus
What are you
Christ Superstar.
saying, dude? So the first musical that I auditioned for when I was in class 10 was also GCS. It was
That's the
Jesus Christ Superstar. That's amazing.
Yeah!
What character did you play? I'm very curious. Were you Mary Magdalene by any chance?
No, I'll tell you. So the cool part about this is, so this was the modern take of the JCS, okay?
Right.
And so I had gone for the audition thinking I'll be a part of the ensemble. Okay, I was
Right.
just keeping that because, obviously I have no theatre experience and just new in acting, and I am just figuring, I didn't even understand what acting was until I really got into it, right?
Right,
So,
right, right.
because I'm saying this because I thought it was as easy as, given lines, then go emote, and that's it. I thought it was just
Right,
that.
right, right.
Right? So I go there, I give him the audition. And then for the ensemble, and then 2-3 days later, the director calls me up and he actually said, see, we just thought it would be a cool idea if Anas's role was done by a female. So,
I did Anas's role. What are you saying?
yeah, so they gave me Anas's role.
Oh my God, my mind is blown. This was back in 1995 for me. When was it for you?
This was in 2016.
What year was it for you?
This was in 2016 for me. My first.
Dude, can you imagine? 11 years apart, we did the same play, the same character, and now in 2024, we are on a podcast. And by accident, I discovered that you and me did the same musical when we were younger, and we did the same character.
Yeah, man, we are one of those, super cool types.
He's
man.
what they want. Why take your toy away? He's a craze. Na 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 na. Oh shit, dude! And okay. This I have to discuss this with you. Did the people of the cast also pull your leg, calling you something which sounds very close to the name of Anas, but is not?
Yes,
Part of the
course.
digestive system of the human being.
Yeah. Dude, I had all kinds of they would make, but dude, it was so cool. Like, that was my first theater experience ever, and then to also be singing it, the link is actually there on YouTube. I can share it with you.
At this point of time, I'm pretty sure that the listeners are wondering, is she going to sing something?
You left me in tears and pain for somebody else, for somebody else. You didn't even turn around and look at me. You walked away, you let me go astray. Cause mine was shattered around, and you seem to ignore in the middle of an ocean so dark and deep and broken. I couldn't breathe, could just time pass, please? I'm suffocating, now take me, oh dear life. Take me and show me some light, cause I wanna shine and find my
Yay! Like, we'll just imagine that there's some sound effects happening. But yeah, that was fantastic, and you have such an awesome voice. Georgina. So
Thank you so
Georgina
much.
and me met on this app called Clubhouse. And in case you're also a singer and you haven't discovered this app called Clubhouse, you completely should. And it's a nice place for people to meet, especially if you're singers or musicians. So yeah, but coming back to Jesus Christ Superstar and Annis.
Yeah. Small world, man.
Yeah, what a small world. It like literally is quite a small world.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was so surprised when I got the call. I still remember I like held it pretty well because I was just like, oh, okay, that's incredible. And I hung up and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was really nice, and that's how it started for me. And then I took training on one-on-one classes. I took training from this music director because before till this happened, this particular situation where I went to his house because the whole ensemble was there, and I got into this house and I saw him teaching and I saw him controlling so many different voices, right? And that for me was just like, wait, what? How? Like, I've been a part of a choir, I've even been part of chamber choir and stuff, but at the time I was also just performing, so it didn't really hit me the aspect of just just viewing that, seeing that, and understanding how beautiful it sounds and how crazy it is to get voices sound like one. That was the magic for me, when I heard it. And then from there on, it was just history because I was like, you know what? His name is Sunny Abraham. He's also one of the, he also took part in the Disney India, one of the productions actually. So he's also a theatre actor, and yeah, it started off with there so he had these techniques where he would teach me a combination of using my abs and doing it like for planking. I'm doing squats, and I'm doing so many different things. I'm doing push-ups also when I'm trying to open my voice and all that. And from him, I took a couple of things, and then I've taken a few or more things from all the teachers I've had over the years. Because after this happened is when my mind started going back to, okay, what else have I learned as technique? And over the years, I just built it up to a way where it's a combination of all of this, and certain things which I picked up from all my teachers and things which I've learned off of myself, and I'm still growing as a teacher and as a singer. Like for example, I've never learned Carnatic singing. Okay, so in the last few years, I can see that I was practicing, and I still am practicing, listening to old, especially Malayalam songs, K.J. Yeshudas sir songs and all that. So I'm trying to mimic that, right? So that is actually helping me build my Indian style of singing, because that's where I lack. And recently in Clubhouse, I sang a song, okay, in one of the rooms, and one of the listeners, I was very happy with the fact that she actually said, oh wow, you sing well, and then she just goes, so you must be trained well in Carnatic music. I was like, sister, no.
How important is training or learning?
When I started really wanting to understand what singing is, just beyond the surface level. See, it's like I get asked this question a lot, where if you have if somebody who's not a singer, can you make them a singer? So my answer to that was, see, teaching somebody the technical side of singing is actually very easy. But for you to actually connect to the words that you're singing and then singing it is a different ball game, right? So if you ask me, anybody can get trained to sing. And I would also say, if you do not want to get trained, then the other option is you have to force yourself to become a very good listener, because there is growth even there. I feel that you don't need a teacher, because you get anywhere you look, you get information. The question is, are you willing to put in the effort to understand how it works for you, or if it is working for you? Thank you.
What are your goals now?
My goals. Okay, so when I started singing, That was in 8th standard and after, and doing all live shows and stuff. I was honestly doing it. It's a little different, not out of passion. For me, it was because my mom wanted me to sing. Okay, so that's why when you were saying, no, we sing out of passion, it's like,
Georgina, what are you doing? Don't waste your free time. Get down to singing.
Yeah, but she is a beautiful singer herself. So I would also say initially she has sung to me a lot in my childhood.
Georgina, get down to singing.
She listened more to. It's because of her that I know a lot of classics. Because she would listen to ABBA, Bonnie M, and like all those kind of songs were her favorite. So yeah, so cut to when my interest started. Kicked in. That's in 2016-15 around. I learned it with I understood singing, and I ended up going for classes I think for about 5-6 months together. Like it was just consecutive classes. That happened, and my idea was to build a choir like that because I wanted to blend voices. My bad. Voices.
She wanted to blend voices.
My bad. Yeah, blend.
You wanted to blend voices like you saw that music director blend voices. Right.
Yeah, like how I saw Sunny. Yeah. So that was a goal. And then a little after, when I realized that I can compose by myself, it has been that I'm just going to be downright honest, okay? Because when I have shared this with a few people, they were like, isn't that a little too much? And I'm like, bro, it's in my mind. My mind is limitless. I will dream. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'm complete believer of, if you can imagine it and, if you manifest it, it can happen, man. It can happen.
Exactly.
It can happen.
Yeah, it can. And I'm just glad I've reached a place of my life where I am not scared to dream or be affected by how other people view it. Because, like I said, many people were like, isn't that a little too much? And I was like, no, because I want my music to go and connect with people everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I'm not going to limit it to some word. I just everywhere, all around everywhere. And that's all I want.
That's because
that's basically it. And this whole the entire term of being an independent artist is something which is more how do I put it? It's more important to me now. It's more serious to me now. Like I have a vision. I never had any of those things, so I think I'm still growing. So maybe even a year later, it could be something else. But as of now, the last few years, it's been that, just to get myself to a better place. On for me personally, it's my growth. I want to see where else my voice can take me, what else it can do. And I just want to keep growing, man. And I've even picked up the guitar off of YouTube. And it's a slightly different story because I'm a left-hander. And a friend of mine had gifted me a guitar, a right-handed guitar, an acoustic one. And initially, I did go to about 5 to 6 music stores to see if they could restring it for me the other way around, because I'm going to be I strum with my left hand, unlike the right-handers. And because I got super pissed by the 5th or 6th time, because they were just like, oh, we can't do. So finally I went on to YouTube. One fine day I went on to YouTube and I sat with my book, wrote it down, all those fingering and the marks and everything for right-handers. Exactly parallelly to that, I wrote it down how it would be for left-handers, and then I learned the chords.
Listen, why did they give you a right-handed guitar when they knew that you're a left-handed person? That's like giving chopsticks to an octopus.
No, the person who gifted me the guitar
or giving a fork to an orangutan. I'm not saying you're an orangutan. I'm just saying. Why would they do that?
So my goals, they're very, like, they're short term. I don't plan for a big thing and like where I will be in the next 5 years. So by next year, my goal is to release my album, because I have my story to tell,
Right.
and I that's my goal for now musically. And on the side, I have something else also that's working for me, which has nothing to do with singing and music. Would you like to know?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so I'm also, like I said, I wanted to work with animals. I told you that, right? So I'm now starting to be a dog consultant and a dog behaviorist in Kochi.
Can you train me? Because people
For
call me a dog all the
singing,
time.
dude, I've got to say, you've got such an amazing voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's like people do ask me that, and the only thing I tell to them is, I've never considered myself to be a talented singer, very honestly, but I've been a very, very hardworking singer. So I practice my butt off. I sing for sometimes 8 to 9 hours a day, just when I'm free. Like uh although, like, whatever the voice that we get is basically from God, right? But now what we do with it is in our hand. So because I know so many singers who are much better than me, I never considered myself to be better than anyone else or something. So I've never had that, like, you've got a good voice thing. I've always
Right.
thought I have an average voice, and I've believed that the only way that, I can become better as a singer for myself is by practicing. So I just practice. Back in the 80s, we used to write lyrics with our hands, and
Right.
like practice, like, so that's about it, man. Like, that's
Yeah.
my thing.
I still do write lyrics in the book. I don't know. Somehow it doesn't, like, I've seen people write it down on laptops and all that. Just doesn't work with me. I think I'm old
Doesn't
school
work,
that
right?
way. Nah.
Exactly. Like, when you write it with your hand, it's like it becomes a part of you then.
A part of you. Oh man, high five.
High five. That's what I teach as well, by the way. That's what I say.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, because I feel the same way about writing lyrics. It is half of the, when I type, it kind of gets stuck. I don't know if that happens to you or if it's just me, but when I'm typing, there's a lot of room for me to think. When I'm writing, it just flows. It just flows. It just
Yes.
flows. And
Georgina, I
then
have a feeling that's also because since we were in kindergarten, we've been doing this. And this is kind of like, ingrained in our heads when it comes
right,
to communicating what's in our mind.
yeah.
This came when we were much bigger, like, this came much later. So I feel this is
Yeah.
more native in our brain.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to add. I mean, I just remembered why I brought up the point of being a dog behaviorist and a
Yes,
dog
yes.
consultant. The point what I was trying to make is that after I moved in here to Kerala, I figured that a lot of people have so many misconceptions about even the breed that I have is she's a Rottweiler. So that was something which is really bothering me. So I have a short term goal for that also. Hopefully, in the recent future, to kind of at least have a set of people with who have the same mindset to kind of get everybody here at least to be more aware of how you can raise a dog in a better way rather than just putting them in cages and then blaming them for be aggressive or whatever after like you've barely given them the basic necessities, right? So that's another goal of mine. That's what I wanted to like bring back.
What social media, like, or website or something that you'd like to share, or your Instagram that they can, or your YouTube that they can go and check out your work?
दैट वो भी चलता है. ओके, मेरा हिंदी बहुत खराब है मैनिफाइड. अगर मैं हिंदी स्टार्ट करूंगी ना, आप माइक ऑफ करके लैपटॉप तोड़ देगा.
One day we have to have a show only Georgina speaking to me in Hindi and trying to communicate.
हमारा हिंदी तो बहुत एकदम मजा.
मैं समझ गया आपकी बात.
समझ गए ना. हाँ, हम तो बॉडी लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं हिंदी. जब मैं बोलती बॉडी लैंग्वेज भी अच्छा आता है. You
Fantastic.
guys can catch me on Instagram. I'm there. I'm Georgina Matthew on Instagram. I'm there on Facebook. I'm there on YouTube. Georgina Matthew.
And Georgina is with a double A.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you know why it's with a double A? Many people assume it's numerology.
Isn't it numerology?
No, it's because
You notice
I
the
have
number
a
of
middle-
D's in my name? The number of D's
The number of
in my
Ds.
name. Pregnant pause in my name.
TMI, it's a podcast.
So okay, so it's not because of numerology. It's because of what?
No, so Georgina Matthew is my surname and last name. There's a middle name that is Annam.
Andam.
Annam, no, Annam. So A-N-M-A-M. And coincidentally, do you know what it means in Malayalam? Annam? Take
Annam.
a guess. Yeah, take a guess.
Annam,
Do
man.
not Google it. I can see you. I see you.
No. Annam.
And what?
Something to eat. Something to eat. Like is
Yeah.
it food?
Oh, it means food.
It means food. Yeah, because un sounds like
Yeah.
grain or whatever.
Anas.
Food.
Annam. No wonder I
We're
got
all
Anas
about the
because you got-
digestive process. And it doesn't help that we are like slightly, very slightly overweight.
Yeah, as you see, that's the thing. So everybody keeps thinking it's numerology, and then I'm like, no, bro, says Annam. So I didn't want to type that whole Georgina Annam Matthew, like, dude, Georgina Food Matthew, like, bro, no, Georgina Matthew.
So that extra A basically went there.
Yeah, yeah. The guy swallowed the NNAM and just put the A there. So Georgina Matthew. Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah.
All right, fine. All right,
Yeah.
we'll take that. So thank you so much, Georgina, for being with us.
Any last words? Be kind. I know that's been overly said everywhere, shared everywhere, but seriously, please just be kind. I mean, you really don't know what somebody else is going through. And also allow yourself to just be in the present. After all, what all we are thinking are just thoughts. That's not real. So try and keep your mind in the now. That's amen.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us. Georgina Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, animal lover, dog trainer, singer, songwriter, a blender of voices, and
A blend. Sure, I'm a mixie.
blender of voices, mixer, grinder, and blender of
Mix-
voices.
Yeah, I think if nothing, I'll start that as a business.
Yes. And
Georgina Blenders.
someone who you can catch on Clubhouse as well, singing live. So look out for Georgina, guys, and all the best with all your vocal and musical and melodious goals. I hope everything
you.
works out, Georgina, and
Right
genuinely
back
thank
at
you so
you.
much for your time. And
Right, like that. Thank you.
hopefully we're gonna meet soon, and you never know, maybe we'll sing together. And the next thing that you guys might hear is a duet coming out in Ashish Ddavidd and Georgina Matthews.
Oh my God, high hopes.
Chalo, take care, and I shall see you guys in the next episode. Georgina, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.